how do you think you were being viewed as a teenage girl, or what were some of the judgments that are then made about girls that are coming into contact with the system? Or
I have some strong feelings on this. I personally don't think that even as a 13-year-old, that first day, that I was ever viewed as a vulnerable teenage girl. From what I see from notes that are written about me, I'm almost being spoken about as if I'm an adult woman. And I find things that people often think about teenage girls in care are that they lie, they're manipulative, they're, very much over-sexualised. You become the Jezebel. Like, for example, when I moved into a children's home, with 5 of the males, and I see in my notes that they're saying that the boys the boys' behaviours changing because of my behaviour. And I think, hang on a second, I am the one female around 5 teenage male boys, and potentially 3 male members of staff. There might not even be a female on, even though they're supposed to be, but they haven't always got females available. And I'm the one puppet master in all these men, am I? Is that how it is? Because that's almost how you're spoken about, especially if you're left in an all-male environment. Anything the men do seems to be blamed on you, or something you've done to that maybe lead a boy on, or you've led a boy on, maybe the way you've dressed. If you wear a skirt, you was asking for it, weren't you? You're just viewed as naughty. People automatically found out that you're a teenage girl in care, because there's a much smaller percentage of females in care than there is males, especially in residential homes anyway. I think even as a teenage girl, you're viewed as a woman, and a woman is expected to behave, just the level of expectation, I think, from teenage boys and teenage girls, they expect very much from you have a boy kicking off in a children's home, maybe distracting all of the residents, and they will explain that away. You have a girl distracting all of the residents and it's sexualised, things like that. I always just felt as if I was the big bad, evil woman, the seductress, I'm a teenage girl. You put me around 5 hormonal teenage boys. What do you think's going to happen? But I'm going to get the blame for it, and they're just boys being boys. Yeah. Me, I'm orchestrating it all. I'm smart. I'm ahead of everyone. You moved me down from Newcastle to Yorkshire, where I know not a single person. I come in stoned with 3 males on cannabis, with 3 males from the children's home, who are all from Yorkshire, all live there. And I'm the one that's got them taking drugs, because I was the oldest in the situation. Yeah. But how do you move me from here then the day after I go out and I get drugged, and these boys have taken me out, but in the notes it's me that took the boys.
So girls become more responsible.
You're expected to be. You're more accountable for your behaviour.
What do you think, Aisha, in terms of how teenage girls are viewed, thinking about, you mentioned before these sort of breach of the peace charges and these interactions. What do you think about how people were viewing you at that time, or how you wanted to be seen?
The main thing what Laura spoke about, the sexual exploitation, it's always based around that when you're young. And I think when I was in care, it was always with boys as well. And we always got along, and we'd always be chilling and everything.
Yeah,
and sometimes I did have a sexual relationship with them, because I'm a young girl. I'd never done that kind of stuff before. But you're going to put me in a care home with boys. That stuff is going to happen 100%, because you don't let us out the house. So you end up getting into even with girls as well. As much as people don't want to talk about it, we'd all be having sexual relationships in the houses, and we'd have to do it under the staff's noses. The amount of times that I'd look on a piece of paper and it said, yes, he's been sexually exploited, but hadn't. You'd put me somewhere in a random field in like a secure unit, and I'd abscond, and I'd get in some random person's car, and although that might seem vulnerable, that is the only way I know to get from. If I'm 5 miles away from any civilization, how am I going to get anywhere? I have to get in some random person's car. Whereas if the care home just said to me, do you want to go see your family? Do you want to go to the shop? Should we go out or something like that? Then that would have never have happened in the first place. I think especially as being a girl in the care homes, like you said, you are looked at as, I don't want to say a little mistress, that you're the one that's manipulating these men, like staff or whatever. You could have a good relationship with a male staff member, and then the women staff member in there would be like, no, this is wrong, we've got to stop this. I've been in care homes where a staff member's literally been moved to another care home because I had a strong relationship with him, but because I was sexually assaulted when I was younger, for some reason, which might not make sense, I was more strongly attracted to male workers because I could build a better bond with them. I was just looking for that, because I never had a dad, I was looking for that male role model that was going to take me in and act as a father figure. But they'd always rip that away and say, no, it's wrong, they're exploiting,